Welcome to the video, guys. Going to be giving you all a toolbox tour of all my tools that I have between my boxes and my cabinet. For those of you who are wondering, I work on heavy equipment and I work on trucks, everything from a 3/4 ton pickup all the way up to a Class 8 semi. So let's get started. Starting with the Hutch, guys, the only tools I have here is my 1-inch torque wrench up in that black case, goes up to 1,300 foot-pounds. And then I have my 2 Harbor Freight air impacts that never really get used anymore, and my Milwaukee battery charger. Starting with the first drawer here, guys, this is my top drawer. I have a 55-inch box from Extreme Tools that's, I think, 25 inches deep. It's been a great box for a few years, but I have outgrown it. But starting here, this drawer, I have my 3 smaller torque wrenches. I have a 1/2-inch regular click-style torque wrench from Craftsman in the back. On top of that, in that black case, I have a Snap-on 3/8 digital flex head torque wrench. Those red cases, guys, are shallow and deep wobble sockets, and then I also have 3/4 inch drive hex bits for metric and SAE. That small black case up front is my 1/4 inch torque wrench from Snap-on. In front of that, I have a serpentine belt tool. I also have a cheater pipe, that's that round pipe. I have a 3/4 inch breaker bar in there and a long 1/2-inch flex head ratchet from Matco. Those 2 picks, those are my radiator hose picks. I use them all the time. Those are my favorite 2 style. In those bags, one of them is a bearing race punch set from Mac that I never use. And then the other bag is a universal double seal puller or something like that from Snap-on. And then I have my standard like sheep's foot style puller. That socket rack has some larger 12-point sockets. It has my Torx bits, my U-joints, my hex bits that are on socket attachments. That's kind of just a bunch of sockets in the corner. You can see all my punches, and those are some of my large sockets. And then I have also mixed in there, I have all my tap sockets, and I have my O2 sensor sockets. And then underneath on the bottom left where my keys are, those are my deep well Snap-on wobble sockets. And then over on the right side of the box, I have assorted Torx bits and nut drivers and stuff like that. This drawer is a mess. The next drawer down, guys, is my metric wrench set. On the left side, I have wrenches from size, I think, 6 all the way up to like 33 millimeter. The stack next to that is like my mid-length. I think they're 10 to 19. They're from Caterpillar. And then over in the top right, I have, those are my long handle ratcheting wrenches. They are amazing. Those I have from size 10, I think, to 25. And those are Icon and other various brands to fill the set. I have my offset wrenches that are 10 to 19 right below it. And then I have my small ratcheting wrenches from 10 to 19 below that. Down there on the bottom, I have a set of crow's feet and dog bones that are from 10 to 19 millimeter. And then in that black case, I have stubby regular wrenches from 10 to 19. And then those 2 tools on the left are my wrench extenders, small wrenches and large wrenches. Next drawer down, guys, is my standard wrench drawer. Starting on the left side, on the bottom, in that red box, I have my stubby wrenches. I think they're 1/4 inch to 3/4. Directly above that is my regular wrenches that go up to, I think it's 1/4 up to 1.125 inches. To the right of that is my ratcheting wrenches. If you come down on that red stick, that is my crow's foot stack. Next to that is my medium length stubby wrenches that I think go up to 3/4 inch. Those are from Caterpillar. That big red case is crow's feet that go up to 2 inches. Right below that is just a straight edge because I found a good spot to put it in there. That set on the right, guys, is my 45-degree offset. Probably my favorite wrench set for doing hydraulic lines. It goes up to, I think, 1.5 inches. Don't remember off the top of my head, but it is a fantastic wrench set. Super expensive. It's like $1,500, and it's worth every penny. This is my first drawer of pliers, guys. It's got all my Knipex pliers, my diagonal cutters, crescent wrenches, channel locks, needle nose pliers, vice grips, and then I actually have an exhaust hanger plier set from Lyle up there on the top. Next drawer down, guys, is more pliers. Starting in the top right, I have my snap ring pliers. Below that, I have my fuel line pliers. Then I have my digital air chuck. All those pliers and that stuff in the bottom left is all for disconnecting tools. for electrical, def lines, fuel lines, all that stuff, radiator lines, anything that's any type of a clamp or something you got to squeeze, it's in that bottom corner. Above that, I have a caulking gun. Those clamps in the top left are for different style of like brake lines and stuff. I don't think I've ever used them. And then I've got more disconnect stuff up top, and then I have my hose clamp pliers with the blue handles. Next drawer down, guys, starting in the top left, it's a plastic plug kit, usually for panels and fender wells and all that crap that we have to deal with. It's plastic now. I have a few C-clamps in there, and a compression clamp, and then I've got 2 pipe wrenches. I've got a couple larger crescent wrenches in there, and then my big hydraulic line wrenches that go up to 2 inches are in there as well. That set is from Harbor Freight. Next drawer down, guys, starting with the bit set on the top left, that is from Snap-on. It's the Master Air Hammer bit set. I got my air hammer from Snap-on. I've got some air hammer punches in there, a few Milwaukee batteries. I have a die grinder on top of it, and then moving down, I have my 3/8 electric ratchet on the left. I have my right angle impact in there, and then I have my 1/4 inch extended neck electric ratchet. Below that, I have my small cheater pipe, and then if you move up, it's a 3/8 Milwaukee impact, probably my most used impact. And then I have my cutoff wheel from Milwaukee, and I believe that is my oscillating saw on the right. Last drawer on the bottom, guys, starting on the top left, I have my M12 Sawzall from Milwaukee. Below that, I have 2 grinders. One is with a cutoff wheel, one is with a grinder on it. I have 2 because it saves time switching blades. Then obviously I have my big slide hammer kit there in the case. I have my 1/2 inch Milwaukee impact. I have my little like drill driver. I have my standard drill in there next to that. And then on the right, I have my right angle drill. And then at the very bottom, I have a pneumatic die grinder from Mac Tools. Moving to the small drawer, guys, starting at the bottom, I have all my extra solder sticks for my stash. I use solder sticks to repair electrical connectors. They work amazing. And then I have my brake pad gauge. All that stuff in the middle is various welding and torching stuff, like extra lens for my welding helmet is in there as well. Then at the top, I have all my pick sets and my O-ring spoons, and then that black tooling across the top is a cotter pin puller from Snap-on that you hit with a hammer, and it's really good for them big-ass cotter pins. You hook it to it and just whack it with a hammer. It works really, really well. Next drawer down, guys, we got our wheel stud installers at the bottom for small and large studs. The first red case up is extra large hex keys. The top red case is a impact driver set from Snap-on. Works amazing for stripped out Phillips head screws and stuff like that. Got some utility knives, a blowgun, and some razor blades in there. Next drawer down, guys, is my truck tool drawer. Starting at the top, I have my airline disconnect forks from Lyle. I also have airline disconnect pliers I forgot to put in this video. I have the Tiger tool set for the tie rod remover end caps. I have the fuel water separator wrenches for Volvo and Freightliner. I've got glad hand handles on the bottom. And wheel stud cleaner, there's that red thing. I got my caging brake sockets there. My slack adjuster tools. My drum spring tool is that yellow thing, and then I have 7-way checkers for both air brake trucks and traditional 7-way like passenger trucks. Alright guys, last drawer here. Starting on the left, that case is 3/4 inch sockets that go up to 1.5 inches. The blue case is a dual wheel separator. The case next to that is a 2 and 3 jaw puller set. Case next to that is a gear puller set, and the final case is a harmonic balancer puller, or like a wheel puller type of tool. Awesome tool. And then I have my chain hoists. I have a 1,500 pounder, and then I have 2 500-pound chain hoists. All right, guys, moving on to the side locker here. In the back there, I have a case of 1-inch drive sockets that goes up to 2 inches. In size, I have a hydraulic battery crimper. I have another puller set back there, and then I have that yellow case on top is a O-ring kit from Caterpillar. And then in the front, I have just a basic battery charger and a jump box that'll jump up to a 7-liter diesel engine. Next door down, guys, I got a ton of spanner wrenches in here for both suspension and for doing cylinders. I have some gland nut wrenches. For cylinders, I have pin masters, or whatever you want to call them. I have two different ones from Caterpillar for replacing bucket teeth. I have a bung wrench for doing like opening like 55-gallon drums and stuff like that. And then I have a bunch of different grease zerks and miscellaneous stuff in the back. Next door down, guys, I have two refractometers in the top right, depending what I'm doing with them. I have an AC sniffer. I have two different micrometers. I have a grease zert reviver, and then I have that master disconnect kit from Lyle. Next door down, guys, starting in the top right, I have my drill bits. I have a case of step drill bits and then some regular basic drill bits below that. Next to that, I have a infrared thermometer, and I have a couple different tools under there for taking off fuel tank lids and def tank stuff, stuff that's not fun. Right below that, I have a couple different attachments for my coolant pressure tester. And then below that, I have a mess of wire wheels, flapper discs, flapper wheels, all that type of stuff, grinding stuff. That bottom case at the bottom is a carbide burr set, and then in that bag is different roll-lock discs for buffing and stuff like that, and then I have a couple extra sets of safety glasses. For this shelf, guys, starting from the right, I have half-inch drive sockets that are metric. They go up to somewhere in the mid-40s. The case next to that is half-inch drive sockets that go up to 2-inch. The little case next to that is actually spark plug sockets, and then that back left case is my coolant pressure tester, and then I've got an extra thing of hand wipes up front, and then my plates and bowls and silverware and stuff for lunch. The next shelf down, guys, is my oh shit shelf. This is all of my taps and dies, rethreading, extractors, files, tap extractors. I literally have everything for when shit goes wrong is on that shelf. Down here at the bottom, guys, I've got a case with bore brushes in it. I've got huge snap ring pliers. I've got more gear pullers. I've got a hydraulic pressure test kit. I've got kits for doing drum brakes and disc brakes. I've got seal twisters. I've got an extra puller set. I've got my coolant vacuum filler and my relay buddy for checking relays. I've got my bearing and seal driver kit, my smaller one. And then finally up top, I have my Milwaukee M18 grease gun with my lock and lube coupler. Moving on to the roll cart, guys, in this top left slide out, I have a bunch of hex keys, half-inch drive ones, both metric and standard. I have really long Torx bits and really long hex bits. And then in the top there, I have a clamp-on amp meter from Harbor Freight. I bought it, and I am still yet to use it. Here in the main area of my cart, guys, I got all my main sockets, 1/4 inch all the way up to 1/2 inch. I've got individual sockets that are all larger for 1/2 inch drive. I've got hex Allen keys, metric and standard, all my extensions, screwdrivers, and then on the left side here, I have long handle ratchets. And then here on the right side, guys, more extensions, more screwdrivers, and my regular flex head ratchets that I use. And then the right slide out, guys, I didn't show it because it's like my junk drawer. There's all types of assorted miscellaneous stuff. Next drawer down, guys, I have a few extra ratchets on the left there that won't fit up in the holes up top. I have a bunch of fuses in that clear cover box. I have my butane torch, and I have my cap and plug kits for JIC and O-ring face. Next drawer down, guys, really is uneventful. It's just my spare parts bins for keeping odds and ends for when you need them. Zip ties, extra gloves, spare battery cable, and a e-stop, I guess, from Skyjack is in there. Next drawer down, guys, this is my electrical mayhem drawer. I've got my multimeter, my test light, sacrificial plastic pins for pulling pins out of ECMs. I've got resettable fuses. Multiple sets of different wire strippers and crimpers. I've got Deutz pin crimpers, battery tester, test leads, butt connectors, solder sticks, back probe kit, all kinds of electrical stuff in here. Next drawer down, guys, is my hammer drawer. I've got a couple different chisels there in the bottom with hand guards. I've got a 4-pound sledge, 5 different size dead blows, and a good old HDX framing hammer that I use a lot. You'd be surprised. A couple different ball peen hammers from Matco. I've got a battery carrier there underneath my bore scope, and then I have a Milwaukee bore scope. Last drawer down, guys. This is my oil change drawer, basically. I've got Rhino plugs there on the bottom right for stuffing into holes to get them to stop leaking when you need them to stop leaking. I've got multiple different strap wrenches, oil filter sockets. I've got a basic grease gun for when my lock and loop coupler won't fit somewhere. I've got a couple different Forma funnels. I have a funnel in there. All different types of drain hoses are in the pile of mess in the back there. I've got a filter cutter in there, all different filter pliers, and then up front I have a fuel transfer pump that you hook to a battery. Moving to the outside here, guys, I have my pry bar holder. It has a bunch of various pry bars in it. I have my creeper, and I have my standing work platform. Moving on to the cabinet here, guys, I have on the top shelf my welding jacket, welding hat, and my welding respirator and gloves, stuff like that. Shelf below, I have my Milwaukee M18 transfer pump and extension cord. Shelf below that, I have my welding masks. My one on the left is a Yes Welder Venom mask. And then the Cornwell mask actually doesn't work, but I use it for torching. It works really well for torching. But it doesn't darken like it should anymore. And then I have some extra gloves next to that mask. On the next shelf, I have my welders. On the right, I have my Harbor Freight flux core wire welder. I think it's called the Easy Flux 125, I think is what it's called. And then on the left welder is the Harbor Freight stick 225 welder. And then I've got my 7018 rods. I have 3/32, 1/8, and then I have 5/32 as well. This bottom shelf of the cabinet, guys, on the left, I have a automotive yoke puller. I have a automotive bearing cap installer, 2 sets of snap ring pliers for U-joints, and 2 U-joint pullers for light and medium duty. All that is from Tiger Tool. And then in the very back, I have the Tiger Tool universal hub puller. It is a huge ass puller for pulling off even the most stuck hubs possible. And then in front of the Tiger Tool puller, you can't see it, but I have a heavy duty U-joint puller for good up to Class 8 trucks, and that is from Harbor Freight Icon. And then that blue case in front is my truck hub seal installer. It's a bunch of big seal drivers for driving in seals, and then I have 2 tool bags on top there for just when I need to put stuff in it. And then, guys, to sum it up here, you see my Vevor stool there on the bottom left, best $25 cheap stool I've ever bought. And then on the left side of my blue box, guys, I did forget to show, but I do have a 58-inch Dominator pry bar for doing tracks and stuff like that. I also have all my slings and my hoist equipment for lifting stuff. And then I have a rack, a magnetic rack that you see the black tape. I actually have it Gorilla taped to the box. That's actually where I hang my jacket, my welding jacket, respirator, face shield, all that type of stuff will hang off there. I just have left it in the cabinet for the time being. But that's it, guys. That's going to sum it up. Total value on this stuff, I had to add it all up for inventory. It's approximately about $40,000. And I've got this over the course of my career, which has been coming up on 5 years. So anyways, guys, that's going to sum it up. If you enjoyed this video, please shoot me a like and a subscribe. If you have any comments or questions, please don't hesitate to ask, and stay tuned for more content. Thanks, guys.